guys, welcome back to my channel. So today, this is different because when do you have the opportunity to film a head-to-head cherry collection review battle or whatever this is? So I noticed recently that both ColourPop and Wet n Wild came out with cherry collections. I filmed doing my makeup so that you guys could see the application and process. We're just going to compare the cherry collections and see which one wins. Should I put my cherry clip in my hair? I don't think so. Y'all just ignore my hair. I'm not good at hair, and I have a finite number of ways that I can do my hair while it's dirty. So anyway, so I just threw this up. First off, the ColourPop Cherry Crush collection. I'm gonna get like the oddities out of the way, like the mirror from ColourPop. There was nothing like this from Wet n Wild, so not a lot to compare it to. It was really affordable, but it is pretty small. As you can see, it's just a little handheld mirror, but it's actually great. You could travel with this, and it's a nice, decent size. It's not too heavy, easy to store. So overall, I like the mirror. Also, the little set of hair clips. Cute. I mean, these are not like incredibly well made or anything. They're just cute little hair clips. Take absolutely nothing more from that because it's just a cute little accessory. I'll just go ahead and tell you about the rest of the ColourPop collection. So I started off trying the Cheek Dews. Now these I've heard some mixed stuff about, and I know some people love them and some people hate them, whatever. I'm kind of in the middle, but like leaning towards the not my thing. These are just a very liquidy. I put them on bare skin first so that you could see the application. I do think they're kind of pretty on bare skin, but I already have redness in my cheeks, so it wouldn't be something that I would really reach for that purpose. So I tried them on foundation before setting powder, and then I tried them after setting powder. So before the setting powder, it wasn't too bad. Even then though, things moved in ways that I don't particularly like. I think when it comes to blushes, I like my powders and I like my creams. I would say these are more like a liquid gel kind of consistency. They're very light, they're thin, they dissipate quickly, but I don't know, I couldn't find the right way to use these, and I'm sure that some people enjoy them. And between different skin types, different skincare, and then also the different makeup that we're applying it with, there's so many variations of combinations of products that can cause these to either work or not work, and sometimes it's just like a mystery until you find that right combination. I've not found it yet, but I don't think that these are going to be something that I really love. To me, it has to be kind of a heavier, creamy consistency of a blush, and these are just nice and light and thin. So if you're looking for that and maybe you don't like the heavier creams, maybe this is for you. But yeah, I just haven't found a way that I felt like it really applied that well, and it's just not my favorite. Let's talk about eyeliners from the ColourPop collection. 2 creme gel liners. Now basically, when it comes to the lips and the liners, there's basically like a cool tone red, like a red with a hint of pink, and then there is a more warm red that's more just like a classic cherry red. Both of these are nice. I love creme gel liners, so I love both of these. It's not often that you find a good red eyeliner. They're not, you know, everywhere, and I love to put these in my waterline for a pop of color. They stay on pretty well, especially considering the price, and yeah, overall I love these, so no complaints there. The set I ordered also came with the ColourPop liquid liner. This is in Graceland. Now the only thing is, these kinds of felt tips are the reason why I don't like felt tips, because it doesn't really deposit the color like super opaque. That's like 3 layers, 3 swipes to get that right, and it does bleed a bit, but also the felt tip just seems to soak up the color of the eyeshadow. So there's like this mild tint of pink to this because I use it over red shadow. So yeah, it's not terrible. I mean, I can definitely work with it, but I just feel like a brush tip and just like a little bit more product coming forth would be a better combination. So I like having white liquid liners, but there's just something about them. There's just never perfect, you know what I mean? And I'm talking about all liquid liners. So yeah, felt tip is not my favorite, but overall it's not bad. I'm just very picky when it comes to liquid liners. So next up, this is a new product that came out in this collection. Now there are several shades. It's the Fresh Kiss Glossy Lip Stain. Now these, I'm gonna swatch really quick. They are a little bit glossy in the beginning. I want to say very little. They have like a wet looking consistency to them, and they do stain the lips. The stain is not extreme, so I just did like a light swipe of this, And again, you have a cooler red and then a warmer red. The packaging is so freaking cute. I like that. I like the aesthetic of it. They're pretty colors, but honestly, after about 15 minutes, I would say the glossiness is gone and you are left with a light stain. But I do like the consistency of these. I like the formula, but I do think glossy lip stain is a bit misleading in what it actually does, because as you can see, there is just a little sheen. I applied enough on my hand so you can see, and it's just a little bit of a wet sheen, and then they will dry down. I'm just gonna kind of help us with that process and get this off. They do have a little bit of it's not sticky, it's just a little bit of slip to them, I guess is the best way to put it. And then these are the stains, so as they dry down they will leave some color deposit. It's going to be very apparent on my hand because I'm so pale. I'm actually semi-tan right now. This is tan for me, and you can see the color that they're leaving behind, so they definitely do work. Just, if you're interested in these, don't expect it to be a gloss that eventually wears off and leaves you with a stain. It's more of a lip stain that has a little bit of a shiny finish in the beginning, and that's pretty much it. Okay, Cherry Crush palette. I did really enjoy this palette. So I used the majority of the shades in here. It performed really well. I feel like the mattes are very nice. The shimmers, there's one of the shimmers that I'm not too crazy about, but as you can see, there's a couple mattes and then one shimmer shade, and I think they're really pretty. So I don't have any complaints about the palette. ColourPop shadows I always feel are good for the price. I've had maybe a couple here and there that I'm not that crazy about, but for the most part, when I get a ColourPop palette like this, I'm really pleased with it because I didn't spend a ton of money. It performs well. It's got really pretty colors. So yeah, I like the palette a lot. Let's go ahead and compare that to our Wet n Wild. This is the My Cherry Amour. Again, everything in this collection right now you can get at Target. I think it's going to be available on their website. I don't know about any other retailers, but it's exclusive to Target right now. And I just found it yesterday, Sunday, in my closest Target to me. They finally put the display up. So this one, in comparison, there are a little bit of similarities. I'm seeing these shades, our middle one and then this top middle here are kind of similar. It's like a coral red, but they're not the same. There's not a whole lot that is. You have something a little bit more glittery, here, but different colors. So this is what I have on today. And I did kind of a similar look. My go-to kind of eyeshadow look is something along these lines where you have darker in the corner, darker in the crease, and a fade up lighter towards the brow, something shimmery on the lid. It's not rocket science. It's a very basic way of doing eyeshadow, but I feel like with my eye shape and everything, it really goes. Look at my hair. I look disheveled right now. Y'all just forgive me. Anyway, I feel like it complements my eye shape and my face well, so it's just one of my go-tos. So I started with the shade Take a Bite. I moved on and blended that out with Black Cherry. I took the shade Sweet Like on the lid, and I have to say it didn't really give me the pop that I was hoping for. It turned out a little bit softer, like a soft metallic look to it. So it was still very pretty, but it wasn't like bam in your face. I feel like if anything, this could use like a more, like a strong shimmer or metallic, and this one just kind of didn't do exactly what I thought it was going to do. But overall, the eyeshadows once again performed really well. As for today's look, I also started with a darker shade. I kind of like, honestly, I mean, say what you will, I kind of like this one. There's a little bit more variation. When you start blending, the pinks or the reds together, they do start to blend together. And this one I was able to create a little bit more dimension because I started with our very darkest shade, which is like almost a burgundy-ish shade, blended that out with this darker red. I took this, I kind of consider this like a coral red, and then I even blended the edges with this peachy shade, which gave me a lot of dimension, whereas the other look was more red. So both can be very beautiful. You can definitely tone it down and use one or two shades, from one of the palettes. But I'm actually surprised that I'm loving this one so much. The quality is really nice. Like, my eyeshadow look speaks for itself. I did my normal thing. I did use P. Louise base, which helps, but it was just good. Neither one of these is bad by any means. I just think that here it's more, you know, sticking to the theme, and here you have a little bit more variation, but I think it gives you a nice dimension and a lot of options here. So color story, I actually think I prefer the Wet n Wild a little bit better. If you're shopping at Target and you see these, this is worth the $4.99, I promise you, especially if you're using your points or you're getting a gift card back or whatever it may be. I got 2 gift cards back from buying my stuff because I bought everything. Y'all don't judge me. Yeah, I just really love the collection. So for price and value, I kind of give an edge to the Wet n Wild on the palette, but they are both really pretty. I think packaging's a little bit cuter with the ColourPop, but they're always so on theme when it comes to the makeup. So if you only had to get one, I say get this guy. Okay, let's go back to cheeks. Let's talk Wet n Wild. This blush duo is so pretty. I blended these two together to get this shade that I was looking for, which I think complements the kind of blend of my eyeshadow a little bit better. But both shades are really, really pretty. Again, just super impressed that the quality of this is so good for the price. And you can, of course, wear 2 very distinct shades of blushes. It gives you options, but blended together, these were so nice. I give a huge edge to the blush duo over the cheek dews, my personal opinion, but you know, if you're not a powder blush kind of gal, then these may be way more up your alley. I totally get that. If you love it, great, that's amazing. I hope that you get them and love them and you have no issues. For me, it just wasn't a smooth enough, you know, use of the product. I want it to be easy. This was easy. $4.99. Another edge to Wet n Wild. Ooh, okay. I think that's gonna be a theme, honestly. Let's talk lips really quick. So you have something a little bit different here. I think the theme of this is very nice. I just think that putting together a stain and a gloss is difficult, and that's probably why this product is what it is and not maybe what we want it to be, or what I want it to be, I should say. So it's not gloss to stain. It's more of just like a stain that's a little bit shiny, like I've already said. So I like these, but honestly, in my daily makeup routine, this is gonna get more use because it is a lip liner and a gloss. You could wear them separately, you could wear them together, and it turned out like the combo looks definitely more pink on me, which I'm enjoying. I thought like, ooh, maybe this is gonna be too red for the eye look, but I actually think it turned out very cute, very like cute cherry, but like pinky cherry, you know what I mean? So, and I actually love their pencil lip liners. Even though they're wooden and sharpened pencils, they're pretty darn creamy, which typically for me, I find to be the opposite of that. Usually is, if it's a wooden pencil, usually they're rougher. This one doesn't drag and pull my lips. I actually hate that. So I really love this duo. I have to say, I think I like this better, but keep in mind, I prefer a lip liner and a gloss over lip stains. And again, so that's probably going to be more so the reason than anything else. If I was just like a lip stain kind of girl, obviously I would care more about these. And I am going to try these more. I'm not giving up on my cheek dews or my lip stains. I just haven't tried them enough to fall in love with them yet. But overall, just for me personally, I just have to give, you know, Wet n Wild the credit here because I really, really love these. Once again, the price. Okay. And then we do have a couple more items from the Wet n Wild collection that can't really do a direct comparison with the ColourPop collection, although they could have done a little bit something like this, like a cherry skin milk or something. But the Wet n Wild My Cherry Amour Primer Serum I have on today as well. It feels super nice on my skin. It feels just a little bit hydrating and a tiny bit tacky. I really like the consistency of it, and especially it feels super nice under makeup. I feel like my makeup turned out well, and I don't know, it did something nice. I feel like I'm not creasing as much as normal, and I use the same old foundation I've been using, so definitely enjoying this. Just overall good product. And then the My Cherry Amour Face Mist. I'm a little confused because under ingredients it says diamond powder. And I'm like, is diamond powder really an ingredient or is that a descriptor? Because I'm like, it's not actually powder from diamonds. Is it? But anyway, this is just a face mist. It doesn't say that it's one of their 3-in-1s. I am going to quickly just... As for the scent, I think the scent of the Wet n Wild stuff is nice. The ColourPop stuff is not scented like that, not cherry scented. But I have to admit, a couple of the products have like a cherry almost bordering on like a sickly sweet cough syrup scent, but just the tiniest bit. Like, I hate to even say that because for some people that's going to be very cringe and they're like, no, I'm not using that. It's very, very mild. I don't think it's something you would have to be very worried about. And again, with the price point, $4.99, you know what I mean? So I do like this. I don't know if it's going to be any different than my coconut 3-in-1 from Wet n Wild, which I love, one of my favorite setting sprays. But all in all, I have to say, for everything I got from Wet n Wild, I spent $25. I got a palette, blush duo, lip duo, primer and setting spray for 25 bucks. I feel like that is where I really won. The ColourPop stuff is super, super cute. I like it. I'm most excited for the palette from this collection, and then also my Crim Gel liners. These are going to be my favorites. A little bit of a misses with this collection just for my personal taste. But it was still worth it because I get to try out formulas of things I've never used. If I hadn't got this, I wouldn't be able to try these formulas and know how they perform and if I like them. And like I said, I will continue to use these and just try them in different ways and see how they go, because I might find that doing them a different way works a little bit better, and that's totally fine. One use of a product doesn't tell you the whole thing, but I want it to be easy and fun and not like tricky to do my makeup, you know what I mean? And for me, popping on this powder blush, super easy. Lining my lips, I like to do it anyway. Personally, I would still want to line my lips with that stain, at least a little bit. So yeah, anyway, so you can see where my preferences are. That's what I think. I think both collections are very good, but I mean, I'm just saying, if you got $25 to spend, or maybe you just see 1 or 2 items, I think it's well worth it. I think you'll be happy with your purchase. So that is it for Cherry Head to Head. I hope this turned out okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed hearing my thoughts about these 2 collections. Let me know if you're picking anything up or if you've already picked up some stuff from this collection. And 2, I do have the Wet n Wild collection in the honey, the cocoa and the passion session. So I'm very excited to be using those as well. Considering how well this went, I'm very excited to use the other collections, and I think I might do one video showing the rest of the collections and maybe just mention this one as well. But you guys let me know if you have a particular way you want to see it. Let me know. I'm definitely open to suggestions, so I really, really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much for hanging with me for a bit and giving me a little bit of your time. And yeah, thank you. That's all. I hope you have a great night, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.